Right, is Brainiac cast in James Gunn's Superman? Could be. Sounds like it. It does sound like it. It could be Alan Tudyk. I really quite like the idea of this, to be honest. I didn't initially like the sound of Brainiac being, in the film. I think he's someone that you sort of build towards. But basically, Deadline had this article yesterday, and it says, Alan Tudyk playing secret role in James Gunn's Superman. The dish. So, just first and foremost, what do you guys think straight away? Do you like that idea or not? And I'll take a look and sort of extrapolate why and, what the reasoning is and why that rumour's come around. But what do you think? Alan Tudyk as Brainiac. What do you think? I think it could be good. One of those, inspired casting choices. It could also be terrible, by the way, but I think pretty decent. But let's take a look, right? So exclusive to Deadline, James Gunn's Superman may be wrapped, but we're hearing that Alan Tudyk is also part of the mass ensemble pick in an undisclosed role. Tudyk already is playing the voice of nuclear plant meltdown-born villain Dr. Phosphorus in Gunn's upcoming Max animated series, Creature Commandos, which technically kicks off the first part of the DC Bosses Phase 1, Gods and Monsters. Tudyk also voices Clayface in the Max animated series Harley Quinn, so multifaceted. As far as Gunn and Tudyk's previous collaborations prior to Superman, Gunn starred in an episode of Tudyk's Vimeo series Con Man, which ran from 2015 to 2017. Now here's interesting stuff. Gunn announced the completion of the production on Superman in July. The pick follows the Man of Steel as he looks to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned, and the movie was also produced by Gunn, blah, 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 blah. So, says here, the movie also stars Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, blah, blah, blah. Tudyk recently reprised his Rogue One Star Wars story role of K2SO in the second season of Andor, and he's also voicing Hey Hey in Disney's animation's Thanksgiving theatrical release at Moana 2. So, is he going to be a voice? Is he going to be there? Is he going to be in person? Well, let's see what this article says, hey? So, the actor was not officially announced, we're just taking a look, as part of the cast, but it is known for voicing Dr. Phosphorus in Gunn's DCU Creature Commandos. It's also known that actors voicing characters in Creature Commandos will portray their respective live-action counterparts. For example, Frank Grillo voices Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos and will also appear in Superman. So, however, whilst Deadline doesn't come out and say it, it almost sounds like it's Alan Tudyk is going to be playing a different role in Superman than Dr. Phosphorus. And this is why Deadline only says they're hearing Alan Tudyk is in the flick in an undisclosed role. So it does sound like it, right? Like, you have this here. Tudyk is already playing the voice of nuclear power plant Dr. Phosphorus. Oh, okay. But he's in this in an undisclosed role. Okay then. The wordplay is pretty obvious there that he's not going to be playing Dr. Phosphorus. By the sounds of it. Doesn't sound like it anyway. So rumours are now offering that Brainiac is the true villain of Gunn's film. It introduces David Corenswet as the new Man of Steel. Which is a good, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know whether I like Brainiac being revealed straight away, but never mind. So the film also sports Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and if someone is playing Brainiac, it would be pretty much a secret as Gunn has never confirmed if Brainiac is or is not in the movie. So as noted, Alan Tudyk is also voicing Clayface, he's just in everything, in the unrelated Max animated series Harley Quinn, and he was also, also has a history with Gunn, which we sort of covered there. So Superman finished filming, and this is the thing, right? Dr. Phosphorus. You don't have to. So the thing about these characters that are in animation, like the Rick Flag Sr. there, okay, Frank Grillo voicing him, you can see how Frank Grillo would move into live action as that character, right? That's pretty easy to do. Like, obviously, that's pretty easy to do. Dr. Phosphorus,
It's not really live action, is it? So Alan Tudyk can then start to play other characters as well, because he's not really there. It'd be very difficult to cast Rick Flag. It'd be very difficult to cast Frank Grillo as another character in the DC, movie universe, whatever you want to call it, because his character is so very clearly just him. Whereas Alan Tudyk, Dr. Phosphorus, that's just going to be CG. He can now, in live action, where you see part of his face, be someone else. Perhaps Brainiac. Which I don't think is a bad pick at all. Actually, I think that's fine. It does say here that it could actually just be that Alan Tudyk is just doing voice work, which I think would be a shame. I'd like to see some of that in live action. I think that'd be really good. It says, of course, Alan Tudyk could always be playing Dr. Phosphorus or another character. Sean Gunn happens to be playing at least 3 characters in the DCU, with Weasel, G.I. Robot, and also Maxwell Lord. But again, only one character that actually shows his face. Whereas I think Brainiac, I imagine Brainiac not being CG, right? Actually seeing the face, which I think Alan Tudyk would do quite a good job with. So, I don't know. It's an interesting one, ladies and gents. It's just a rumour. But I can see why people think that that's the potential, because of how they've worded it. He's also part of the cast in an undisclosed role. Tudyk is already playing Dr. Phosphorus. Oh, okay. Yeah, so again, it's a new character, isn't it? It's very clearly just a new character. So who would it be? I like the odds of it being Brainiac. I don't necessarily like Brainiac being in the movie, but I like the odds. And I actually quite like him being cast. So what do you guys think? It's slowly shaping up. I do think that they've spent just extortionate sums of money on this film, so I don't know whether they'll be able to be massively successful with the way the sort of industry is going with the genre. It seems to me that audiences aren't clambering over themselves to go watch comic book movies again, but who knows? What do you guys think of this? Alan Tudyk is Brainiac. Rumour. Let me know down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.